Condo sales are down 23% year over year. Inventory is sitting at 15 months of inventory, and seller leverage just hit a new all-time low. This isn't just a buyer's market, it is something truly, profoundly deeper. And if you're watching from the sidelines as a buyer, the question is, how long do you wait? What's up, y'all? Jake Fletcher here, lead agent and founder of the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty. And today we are breaking down all of the latest numbers for Miami-Dade condos and townhomes. And what we're seeing is a market that's moving further into uncharted territory. We're going to be looking at buyer demand, seller pressure, and where prices are trending, okay? Everything is timestamped down below, and if you're planning to make a move or just want to talk strategy, there's a link in the description down below to book a call with me, completely complimentary, so that you can make the best informed decision for yourself and for your family. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump on in. So starting off with demand here, because, that's where the cracks are most obvious, honestly. We had 916 condo and townhome sales in August, a 5.5% drop in just 1 month, okay? So we're looking at that green line there. It's been going down. Sales have been going down. They're already down. I mean, look at this compared to the pandemic era when, things were just crazy popping off. It's been down ever since. And, compared to last year, August even, which was already a pretty slow summer, we have a 23.2% decline in sales since that time over here, okay? So, remember, August is usually one of the busier months. It's when the kids are out of school. It's easier to move, Now, obviously, the second half of August, it's kind of the end of the busy summer months, but it's still usually a busy month, all right? Now, even more telling is the close price to original price ratio. If you're new to that, all that is a average across the market expressed as a percentage of the difference between what a seller was originally listed at versus what they had to sell at. So if it was listed at 100,000 and it sold for 90,000, that's a 90% close price to original price ratio. So the CP to OP ratio hit a new record low of 92.5%, okay? So that means, again, if it was listed for 100,000, then they had to bring down the price to 92,500 just to get it sold, okay? So that's a pretty big deal because, like I said, it's an all-time low. If we go back, actually, this is the weakest seller leverage that we've ever seen. As far back as the data goes, which is 10 years on Matrix MLS, we have never seen such a low close price to original price ratio for condos, okay? There's a Warren Buffett quote that comes to mind: be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. So, whole lot of fear out there right now, so it kind of makes you wonder. And based on these numbers, we haven't seen any fear like this before. With sales as low and close price to original price ratio at all-time lows, it definitely, like I said, it really makes you wonder, maybe right now is a good time to, if you find a good unit in a good building, scoop up some bargains. I like bargains. I just learned the word for bargain in Spanish is gangas, okay? So if you like gangas, vamos, all right? Now, let's look at supply next. Y sí, yo soy fluido en español para que sepas. Entonces, active number of listings and then months of inventory is next up here because what's sitting on the market is just as important as what is selling. So the active number of listings, that's our green line there. Months of inventory, blue line. So active listings came in at 13,789, which is down 2.9% month over month, but still up 19.8% from last August, okay? So big increase year over year. And while listings are slowing, the backlog remains, okay? Months of inventory, which is a measure of if no new listings came on the market, how long would it take to sell the existing supply? Months of inventory stayed flat at 15 months, okay? So if you're wondering, that's not normal, okay? That's not a balanced market. Normally, a balanced market is considered to be about 6 months of inventory. Less than that is considered to be a seller's market because it favors sellers. And then more than that is considered to be a buyer's market, okay? So again, not balanced at all. This is not good news for sellers. This is an ultra mega super aggro buyers market, super favorable to buyers right now. And we haven't actually seen seller leverage in this category since early 2023. We have to go back all the way over here to early 2023 to find anything under 6 months of inventory, okay? So, if you've got a condo or a townhome listed right now for sale, it better be priced right or it's just not moving in the next 15 months at least, okay? I don't mean to laugh, but that's all we can do in times like these to prevent ourselves from crying, all right? So now let's check out what's happening with churn, the churn rate, which is, what's coming on the market versus what's not selling. And we have expired listings up first, that's the green line there, and the number of new listings, that's the blue line. So expired listings in August were 2,665, just slightly down from July, but still 10.7% higher than last year over SHMA. And meanwhile, new listings, that's our blue line there, new listings came in at 2,398, a 0.7% month-over-month decline, so slightly down with new listings month over month, and the 5th month in a row that new listings have decreased. So what we're seeing out there right now is that a lot of sellers are pulling back. They're saying, nope, not today, Satan. They are pulling out, pulling back. They're holding out for lower rates or future price rebounds, but the market is just not meeting them there right now. So, they're deciding to not list their properties. A lot of the ones that are going expired are ending up not relisting as of now, okay? And I've been seeing that in the data, and I've been hearing it anecdotally from sellers that I've been talking to, as well as other agents that I've been talking to, because I always like to kind of get the pulse of like, hey, what are you seeing? Talking shop when I talk with other agents, especially if they seem like there's somebody that knows what they're doing. Which is not always the case. But let's wrap it up with pricing here, because who doesn't like to know what's going on with pricing? Days on market also, which is the green line, days on market hit 133 days on market. That's a long time, okay? It's up just one day, month over month, but it's up 35 days year over year for a 35.7% slowdown in how long it takes to sell a condo. So if you list a condo, on average, it's going to take about 133 days to sell, okay? Now, of course, if you price it aggressively, then it's probably going to take less, or if it's a really nice condo that is, people are still loving the what I like to call HGTV certified, which just means like super turnkey, doesn't need anything, bring your toothbrush, that's all. So people are still loving those condos, but before they were selling for a premium, like they were going above, remember the closed price to original price ratio? They were going 100% and above over asking price, but now you're still able to get, HGTV certified, turnkey for actually less than list price or less than market value, okay? It's pretty awesome, okay? If you're a buyer and you're ready to buy or you're looking to buy right now, you want to get a good deal. If you like deals, if you like gangas, okay, right now is a good time for that. And meanwhile, median price, that's the blue line again, we did get a little bit of a bounce. Median prices rose slightly from $405,000 to $409,500, okay? So about $4,500 more, but we're still down 2.5% year over year and down 9% from the peak in February, interestingly. So February over here, that was the peak, okay? And we're down 9% since February, okay? What is that? That's six months. So in 6 months, we're down 9%, okay? So that's a very meaningful drop in only 6 months, especially in a city where prices don't really tend to move this fast downwards, okay? The trend is still soft, and sellers are definitely feeling it. So, if you're looking to buy right now, again, I can't stress, it's a great time for you. So here's what we need to know, okay, guys? Condo demand in Miami-Dade has cooled off like it's the last ice age, like that little squirrel or beaver or whatever it is that chases the acorn. That's your typical Miami condo right now. That was not the best analogy, but seller leverage is at a record low. And meanwhile, prices are just, they're not in a free fall, but they're slipping, okay? They're slipping like the acorn in Ice Age, like the squirrel down the ice. There you go. There's a good analogy. And it's happening faster than usual. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, should I buy now or wait? Well, you're not alone. There's a lot of people who are out there wondering the same thing, and there's a lot of stuff to consider. You know, rates, timing, inventory, especially in the realm of condos, you know, the buildings themselves, the associations, the reserves, you know, all this stuff. But, you know, the one thing that you should not do is guess, okay? So, again, if you're watching this and you're thinking, should I buy right now? The best thing you can do is to head down to the description down below and contact me. Let's talk it through. There's a link down there. You can book a strategy call with me, completely complimentary, or you can call me directly. That's all my personal contact info down there. So I will help you personally to figure out if right now makes sense or if waiting is smarter for your personal situation, okay, guys? And you can ask, if you come across any of my past or current clients, you can ask them. You know, I always tell people exactly what I think. If I think that you should wait, I will tell you I think you should wait. If I think that it's a great time to strike, I will tell you that. I will treat you as if I was the one in your shoes, which is what I always do. That's how I always approach business, and how I have built my business on doing good business with other people, okay? So if you appreciate that, obliterate the like button for your boy. You know, smash the subscribe button as well, ring the bell so you don't miss videos like this in the future. And that's about it, guys. Jake Fletcher here with the Fletcher Group at eXp Realty, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.